Welcome to Scale Model Kit Review. I'm Steve. Welcome back to part 2 of the closer detail look of the HK Models 132nd B-17G Flying Fortress. Got a lot more parts to show you. Now here are the parts for the front of the nose area, which would be the flight deck and the bombardier station, along with some main landing gear, strut, and so forth. So we'll look at some of the parts up close. You can see there's also the main wing stringer on the bottom there, a big beef up area for that, which is nice to help hold the wings in place. Here's the floor of the flight deck. Here's the sides. Here's the main instrument panel. Throttle quadrant. The throttles themselves. Front bulkhead leading into the bombardier's area and into the flight deck. Sorry for the motorcycle noise, I'm filming this outside. Go Harley. Okay, I'll just flip it over. There really isn't much detail on the other side. Alright, continuing with the interior components. Here we also have the bomb bay doors. Just more interior parts that I can see, radios and stuff like that. Let's get a closer look. Now this one should have some detail on the other side. I'll go ahead and flip it over. And yes, detail on both sides of the bomb racks for the bomb bay and the other side of the bomb bay doors. Very detailed. Looks like the crew entrance hatch up front. Very nice there, nice touch. And the other side of the bulkhead. Not much detail there. There's some ejector marks on that. Also, here's a close-up look of the inside of the bomb bay doors, and you'll see it's just reeked full of ejector pin marks. So those may be a little bit hard for you to clean up if you want your doors open and displaying all the ribs. Okay, now this next tree, there's actually two trees of the same thing, so I'm not going to show you the other one, but we'll get a closer look of this. And this looks like we're starting to get into some of the engine parts from the that are visible from the outside. You know, the fuel injector assembly and all that, your engine cowlings, cooling cowlings and such. Looks like the firewall for the engine too. A lot of detail here, a lot of detail. Some of the hydraulic hoses, fuel lines, and such. Very nice. Very nice. And let me flip this over. That's cool. Some ejector pin marks on there, but I don't think it really matters. It may not be visible. The other side of the turbo. Very nice. Alright, getting down to the last few trees of parts. Now this is what we've been waiting for. This is the front of the fuselage with your various windows. And like I was saying earlier, HK will come out with another variant of the B-17, which could be the F, and of course the windows and the whole front area would be different because the F didn't have the lower waist gun on the front. But anyway, Here's close-ups of that, and you can see very fine details of all the machine guns. The gun frames themselves, which is nice, separate from the clear pieces. And the tail gunner area, which would be also a little bit slightly different on the F model also. So I'm glad they molded those separately so you can model a different variant when they do come out with it. And here's the other side, here's the interior. Once again, full of ejector pin marks. Some are recessed, most of them are recessed. I know I'm definitely going to take care of those when I start building this, which will be very soon. And the interior of the tail gunner area, full of ejector pin marks. May not be visible, and the cleanup won't have to be that great. Okay, here's the top of the fuselage, which was molded separately, and let's get a closer look at that. Portion of the rudder, very fine recessed and raised detail. And your window openings for the windshield. Just flip it over, have a look inside. Looks like some locating pins for some instruments, overhead instruments, and the detail above the radio position and gunner. Here is the wall mounting stand, which I thought was pretty cool because this is a large kit. You know, who's going to have the shelf space for this? So the idea here is after the kit is built, you hang this from your wall with this reinforced screw and insert into your wall, and then the whole B-17 will hang up against the wall, out of the way. Very nice. Okay, here's the photo etch, which comprises of the seat belts and engine inlet screens. Alright, so I saved the best for last, which are the clear parts, which comprises of all your windshields, your forward nose section, your belly gun, waist gun itself, tail gun, and side gun. So let's look at them closer. What I did like is how this was packed. Notice on the sides here you have these very large sprues sticking up, and that prevents the plastic from rubbing up against the clear pieces. Very nice. Front windshield, side windows. Only one part became detached, and that was this right here, which is your top part of the fuselage where the gun sticks through. Here's the waist gun. Very nice. Take quite a bit of painting to get that to where it needs to look like. Very clear, very nice. And thin too. I mean, you can really, no issues looking through it. Here, I'll put this up against, see that? Look at the clarity. Here, we'll do it on the bomber. There we go. Very cool. So there you have it. the clear pieces. So let's look at the kit instructions here last. Okay, here are the kit decals, and I thought maybe there would be more located behind this sheet of paper, but after I took them out of the plastic, there aren't. This is all you get. I did notice it's kind of weird. They got this clear plastic film over the top, so I'll pull that off so you can get a closer look. So of course here's your milk bottles representing the bombs dropped by this particular aircraft, and then you have the Hamilton standard markings for the propeller blades, and decals for the engine instruments right there, and your national insignia, along with, what are these? Can't really tell. Looks like, can't tell. And then the serial number for this particular airplane, 1943 37756. Zot's decals did come out with some really nice decals for this plane already in 1/32 scale. So look up Eli Raphael on Zot's decals.com, and he will hook you up with a set of decals. They are very nice. Let's look at the instructions. Now they are 20 pages in kind of a book format. Does give you some brief history on the B-17 Flying Fortress. Does give us some tips and notes, a little key on what to do with the kit parts during the building process. And when I opened it up, first thing we did is get a appreciation certificate from Hong Kong Models, and it goes ahead and talks to a bunch of the modelers and hobbyists in the industry that have contributed to this model kit. Matt Swan, Tom Cleaver, you know, a group of people, Jerry Ruttman, Lynn Ritger, Chris Buchholz. So very nice. So let's look at the instructions. It does give you a key with all the parts, so you can verify the parts that you do have, and all the tree numbers. And then it gives the color callouts. The color callouts are either in Tamiya acrylics or the Gunzy color, Mr. Color. And of course it starts out with the flight deck, moves on to the bomb bay, continuing on with the bomb bay, all the interior stuff. And then right about step 17 is when the interior is installed into the side of the fuselage. A little more detail going on here. On the inside, more parts are added. Bomb bay doors and such, or the bottom of the floors, that is, run into the back. Waist gunners. Fuselage halves are put together here. And then the top of the fuselage is mounted. The tail section, the Cheyenne tail turret assembly, which is noted for the G model. Excuse the aircraft flying over, very active area for me. Civilian and military aircraft fly over my area all the time. Side of the fuselage installed, the front section of the fuselage. Horizontal stabilizer, elevators, top gunner's position. The nose of the airplane now is inserted on step 36. More details done for the bomb bay area. Some more clear parts are dealt with here for the guns, the belly gun, the ball turret. Fuselage underside details completing out here. Here's the bomb bay doors being installed, either open or closed. Main landing gear wheelbase, They're inserted into the wings, and then the wing halves are put together. Elevators and flaps are installed. Now the engines and landing gear. Engine parts, not very many of them, but very well detailed. And of course this is your propeller. Propellers are installed along with main landing gear in the down position or up position, either way. Wing halves are put together, kind of repeating steps again for left and right wing, gear down, gear up. Now the wings are inserted into the fuselage, step 66. All your antennas and guns are now put on, which is nice. You don't want to do that too early because they could become broken. And this shows how your wall mount is mounted to the B-17 with the gear down or with the gear up option. That just happens to be Bam walking by. Hi Bam. Hey boy, how you doing? And that's River. Alright. Moving on. Sorry to get detracted there, but they're good dogs. Last page is your painting and decal placement. And there you have it. This has been the detailed review of the HK models, 1/32 scale B-17G Flying Fortress Heavy Bomber, in 1/32 scale. I think I already said that, didn't I? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel. Happy modeling, everyone. Now I saved the best for last, which is the clear parts. So let's get a closer look at all the windshields, the waist gun position, the side gun positions, and the tail gun positions.